welcome ladies and gentlemen, so here we go. Quick look at SED Gundam G Generation Cross Race. Holy fucking hell, this is a mouthful of a game, and the game came out last year, and I have to say, it was amazing. Now, of course, I still have a couple of problems with the game that I will be explaining here, but in the overall, if you enjoy Gundam and enjoy a more tactical approach to games, I have to say, it's a great pick. The game is good, the graphics are good, even a little bit better than I would expect by the fact they come out with a new engine is the first engine. Although, yeah, I will have to say during my playthrough, my entire playtime, I experienced 4 crashes. Funnily enough, never when I was grinding. I only experienced crashes when I was playing for the channel. So I don't know if it is a thing then it has more of a chance to happen when you're doing a scenario, a stage, a mission for the first time or something. But besides that, the game runs quite well. Of course, there was the unlimited damage bug during the release, but it was fixed. Although, yeah, it shouldn't be there in the first place, I have to say. But I didn't experience any other type of bugs or things like that. I think the game could do a little better on explaining a couple of its mechanics, especially the dispatch. Another thing is a problem with the dispatch. I think we could have like a fourth dispatch increased for one, since you mostly gonna be using dispatch when you're not playing the game. So yeah, allow you to throw your 4 units on dispatch. It would be your 4 groups on dispatch is a lot better. Now, of course, as I said, I'm gonna start with the more bad here, because this is a very interesting quick look, because there's no, there is, but there is no story for me to talk about it. The main reason why I don't see a reason to talk about story is there are 4 main history: the Double universe, the Iron Blood Orphans universe, the Seed universe, and the Wing universe. The game mainly focus, of course, on the Seed universe, because it's the one who has more animes, more spin-offs, or more whatever you want to call, more movies, or it has more stuff on it. So the larger majority of scenarios gonna be drawn from Seed. In some ways, that is a down factor for me, because, well, I don't have a fuck of a clue about Seed. I didn't enjoy it. I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes and dropped after because eh, it didn't connect to me. While, of course, playing Double O was very cool, was very interesting. It allowed me to sit down and talk, well, about problems that I didn't think the anime had, and while in a more calm, I would say, not in an anime where you going from scene to scene to scene. Here you have more time to think about some of the plot lines. I start to see a couple of interesting points, to say the least. And for example, allowing me to, there is the double P, double F scenarios that does show like a different approach, some things than were happening during. So I found very interesting. They come with this new type of scenarios, this new type of things, and because of that, I mostly enjoy the game. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't see them talking about story would make sense. This is different for example, the SD Gundam from DS or the ones from the PSP. Those have a exclusive history. Those you have, for example, the SD Gundam from DS. I don't have the fuck of a clue about what is the history. The answer is because I played that fucking thing in Japanese and I don't have the clue of the history. I just know it has something to do with the Turn A Gundam being a fucking gigantic piece of shit, and a couple of the exclusive Gundams too. The overworld it's a little bit different. You already have a little bit of a more you have English patch, so you can go there and play it. And that's what happened to me. I emulate on on my own PSP, and I end up playing, and it was incredible. I like the idea of the universes being the problem being the universes are colliding with themselves, and you have like the universes leaking into each other, creating some sort of a history, and you would have the overall narrative after each and every single sequence. Now, because of that, I don't think that's the main reason why I say then there's no point on talking about story on this game. The story is the story of the anime that you watch. If you like that, you will like here. Interesting enough, we don't have like a switched version where you play the opponent side, because that was a thing on a couple of the games too. But with all of that being said, on the story wise, the game is as good as the anime you're playing, if that makes sense. Gameplay, it's kind of basic tactical mission. You have like melee attacks and ranged attacks. You will have your life. If you lose, your unit is destroyed. You lose the levels then you get, but you can produce a unit, except if you didn't get on your production line. In this way, this game can feel a little bit similar to. I don't want to say Pokemon, but yeah, Pokemon. You go and collect new Gundams, you evolve, find your developing list, and at the end, your overall objective in this game is not only finishing each stage, but get that 100% completion on the gallery. Have every single mobile suit on your production list, and things like that. For that, I have to say one of the problems, especially with DLC. To acquire first, I can see why this is a thing. One of the interesting points is the development. As you level up each of your mobile suits, you can develop into a new version. Except for the mobile suits of the DLC. Those are locked on whatever they are. You can get new ones by production, or you can get new ones by dispatch, but those are extremely locked. You cannot develop them on anything else. In some way, yeah, I can understand. It does make sense because you cannot expect that everyone will buy all the DLCs, and because of that, oh, you don't buy, so you're gonna have like what black icon say buy DLC, so for you to develop that mech. But it does get a little bit out of it. It does cut a little bit out of the main anime. Not the main anime. The main point of the game. There is the development or stuff like that, and it does really exclude those units away from the main game. Sad, but I don't see how it could be solved without having a DLC kick in. And there is the point, for example, then some of the some of the series they are bringing through the DLC, they don't share anything with the main game. For example, you have the Age, you have Gundam Age, you have Turn A. Those two you don't have on the base game, so you don't have like a start development, you don't have like normal mobile suits, and that's one of the things. You're going to have a very, very, very limited amount of those units. You're going to have like only, in my opinion, you're only gonna have a couple of the iconic versions of the unit. Another problem is the G generations exclusive units too. I enjoy a couple of those. You have like the Phoenix Gundam lineup. You have the versions from Overworld, from World and Overworld. You have I don't remember the name. I do apologize. You have two, the white version, the you have the version who looks like a nine-tailed fox. You have the more Phoenix version. You have the Queen version that has two small mobile suits attached to it. I think those are very cool and very interesting designs. So I'm very sad to see they not making a comeback to this game, to a new engine with new stuff. The pilots is they exist. I would not care much. Personally, the game gets a little bit of a point because I do enjoy the DS version for some reason. Even as I said, I didn't know what the fuck's going on in the game. So by having the pilot, the main character, and the his two main versions of his Gundam, I really like and enjoy it for what is matter. But I would be entirely honest if I said it would be interesting if they remastered that too. So yeah. Now the game doesn't. That's are the main problems. As I said, I pointed out the fact that the DLC really feels like apart from the game. Some of the units from G Generation itself or not focus. The storyline comes to depending on the anime and depending how well the anime look to you. Understood then the will be not a one-to-one recreation of the anime. They will abridge a couple things. They will omit a couple things. There will be some parts of story that will not have. Some parts will happen in strange ways, maybe. But in the end, it is a TLDR version. The main draw for the game, as I said, is the ability to collect and do 100% on your gallery, get every pilot and every mobile suit unlocked, do the quest, and challenge yourself on a higher difficulty. With a correction that I made on my last video, on the last video for the playthrough, I don't. This is gonna be coming far from earlier from that. I said then you could only get the Quantum ELS version of the double O if you win 100 if you destroy every unit from the double O universe, and I was wrong about that. You can get the unit by killing 100 by finishing the last mission on extra or hard. Don't know if that was a bug, but that was the quest that gave me that thing. Now, back to the point at hand. Let's talk about the qualities because this game has a lot. Development is fun. I really enjoy the fact, and they do have a lot of development advice. Oh, you're looking for this mobile suit. Maybe you should try to develop those, get those levels. Oh, design aspect there is there, where you kind of mix two Gundams to get something out. It's a good way to branch off to a couple of different animes or different Gundam styles. For example, I got heavy arms from developing for designing two other Gundams, so you're gonna have this crossover. The only problem that I kind of have is with the exchange mechanic on that point, because even if you exchange a mobile suit, it does not record it on your production list, so keep that in mind. Now, the new engine is great. As I said, animation is good. The sound is very good. I'm very okay, and that's something. I would prefer they keep that. They don't need to dub the game. Just subtitling in English is far good enough. I Many people already are happy with that. I'm happy with that. I on the game I'm okay seeing the original voice acting, the original thing. And to be honest, there is a lot of parts there is no voice acting at all. And that does not take away from the game in my honest opinion, but maybe for some people will take it away. But if you're literally buying a Gundam game, I think you're already accustomed to Japanese style RPGs where they do that. The combat is very simplistic. It's a simple, oh, you have energy, you attack on melee or in ranged attacks, you place abilities, you level up your characters. If your mobile suit gets destroyed, you can rebuild it, but your pilot is okay. He will maintain the level, so it's that thing. You will maintain the level with your pilots. your mobile suit may be destroyed, but that doesn't matter, you're just gonna need to grind it again. Dispatches are there to help you grind. They tend to give you a reasonable amount of XP to level up your mobile suit. Your character mind, but yeah, it is a chance. Another interesting thing, in some ways, every character is valid. If you grind enough cash capital on the game, you can train your any character to get like stat. And for example, abilities, special abilities, as for example, Innovator, Seed, the Neuro interface from Iron Blood Orphans, I don't remember, or even the Zero thing, the thing from the software that Gundam Wing has. Uh, Gundam Wing no, then Zero has is just more stats in some ways. So if you want to really use a pilot, and if you want to really use a pilot in a different mobile suit, you can do just shove like enough cash on it, and they can surpass anyone. Anyone can be a pilot. Anyone can be a part of your warship crew. It's just gonna cost a little bit of grinding time. And again, this patch is there to help you out. But with that being said, I don't like I like this patch, but I would like missions. Why I'm saying that is because they're dispatches or off game. They exist outside. You place your units there. They will go, and in X amount of time they will come back. There is no interaction with unless um, only to the only thing you have to do is fucking wait, and that's it. I would prefer that we have missions then allow us to do some story things, some small plots on those DLCs, and those would get us the new mechs, the new mobile suits, the new Gundams, and stuff like that. Sadly, it doesn't happen. Sadly, there is no stages for the DLC, only dispatches. So it does put a little bit more weight on that problem that the DLC is like far more apart from the main game than the other DLCs from, I think even Genesis did something like that. Like had like missions for the DLC for some of the things. You had like the Phoenix mission, you had like a couple others. But in the end, I will still point it out. Then it is a good thing. It is a good game. I recommend it. Now, this is a very interesting point because I don't put those on quick looks, but I will put on this one. There is a couple things that I wish this game had, and I'm gonna talk about this right now. First, I don't know if that is I wish this game itself has, or if I wish the next. Well, in so many, I wish this would happen in all the future games. Is a scenario editor, where, for example, you could pick a map and display put enemy forces and play to your heart's content. It would give a little bit more of a longevity to the game, and I can understand why you're not gonna do, because well, why you will do that? Like, this can lead to a lot of easy grinding. It does, but you can create ways around. For example, you can only use units then you already have your own on your gallery, so that way you can use exclusive units for then you don't have on your production list. Would it be cool? For example, you cannot fabricate the ELS. It would be interesting to have they as enemies more other times. And for example, you say, oh, any unit here, it's not. This is just for fun. You're not gonna get XP. You're not gonna. You may get a little bit of capital. You may get a little bit of the shorter cooldowns from dispatch, but you're not gonna get anything really out of it except like the fun of it, and maybe allow even people to share their scenarios to see a little bit of the longevity of the game. It's not entirely necessary. It's just a little thing that I would find very interesting to allow other players to to generate a little bit of the community aspect of the player of the game. Not necessary, and just something that I would really like this game to have. Something that and of course the next game too. But the thing that I 100% sure that would not be on this game, but I would really like then would be on the next one on the franchise. I know they already made Genesis, and Genesis was completely focused on the main timeline for Gundam. But I would really like they do that again. But this time allow you, if you have the cross-ray stuff, to import and allow you to play the scenarios and have the development, have your Gundam, your mobile suit list, imports to here. Although can generate a little bit of a problem, I maybe have a solution. It would be simply like, oh, okay, you import the list, you import the stages, but you don't have your save. You have to grind it all again. In all due honest, I would think people would not say, oh shit, I'm gonna have to do it all again. People will do because it's fun. The main fun of this game is grind for new mobile suits, grind for the Gundams that you like, the pilots that you want on your team, so on and so forth. And allowing you to have this would be very interesting. And yes, Crossray, for what many people are saying, is indeed the one who has the biggest number of mobile suits of all the games. So kudos today. I really agree that is a thing, and they should keep doing. They should keep like uh placing more on this, like adding more. And again, as I said, the second point is indeed about the DLC. I would highly hope they implement the DLC a little bit more on the game, with instead of doing like they are doing right now, we are placing, for example, they released the game on November. They have a DLC on December, a DLC in January. They will have a DLC in February and March and stuff like that, with small points of that. So I would prefer to have like for roll all of those DLCs in one, and maybe try and connect a little bit of a development on the DLC, on the mobile suits and Gundams on the DLC, because a part of the fun is indeed develop those mobile suits. So, it would be better if they, as I said, put they on the development list. In the end, it's a very enjoyable game. I really like. I will wholeheartedly recommend. But take it a look. Remember, is literally Pokemon with mechs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This was the video. If you enjoyed, leave it a like. If you didn't, leave it a dislike. If you have anything to say, please leave a comment. And if you want to see what the hell is gonna be coming next on this mess, subscribe. And see you guys on the next episode.